If you're wondering how to invest during inflation, you're in the right place. Because as inflation starts to rise, we see gas prices and grocery prices, land prices, real estate prices, everything seems to be going up. So where should we be putting our money so that it's safe and it will continue to grow with inflation and inflation won't hurt our investment? Let's find out. Hey there, my name is Mike Fritz. I'm the founder of Titanium Capital Investments and Power Up Real Estate. On this channel, we really have a passion of helping investors and entrepreneurs just like you grow their wealth, invest correctly, and make a difference. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, smash that bell notification, and smash that thumbs up button so more people get this video. Also, we have a lot of people that like to comment on our videos and ask questions, and I'd like to invite you, if you have any questions throughout this video, comment, let us know, because we respond to everyone. We want to engage with you. We want to hear what you're struggling with so we can actually add value specifically to you. And this video is brought to you by our How to Manage Money and Create Wealth ebook, and I want to give that away to you free today in the description. If you click that link, you can get your very own copy. But prices are raising. Things are going up. Gas prices are skyrocketing. Grocery prices are skyrocketing. Land is crazy high. Real estate's over the moon. How do we continue to manage this? And even more importantly, how do we respond to it? What do we do? Where do we put our money so that we can ride the wave of inflation and not get run over by it? Because here's the thing you have to understand. If you make the right investment, the things that you invest in will inflate too. See, inflation can make you a lot of money if you invest in the right assets and leverage them correctly. Yes, when you buy them, they're going to be inflated from when they were maybe a year ago. But if you buy the right things, inflation will inflate those as well. But you have to invest in the right things. So what should we be investing in or leveraging and doing in this time of inflation? The number one thing is you should be leveraging debt. You have to be leveraging debt in times of inflation, and here's why. We buy a lot of apartment buildings, and I'll use this just as a test case and as a case study so you can kind of see how this works. When we lock in debt for one of our apartment buildings, we just closed on a 38 unit a few months ago, we locked in that debt at 3.95% interest. 3.95 amortized at 25 years, right? So in 25 years, that loan will be paid off, and we have a loan on that for about $2.2 million, right? So get this, we buy that property, our payment on that does not change for 25 years. It can't inflate. But what can inflate? Rents. Rents continue to go up with the market and go up with inflation. So we continue to make money on rent. So our income inflates, but our debt does not. That's the power of debt leverage. You leverage debt and you lock in against a stronger dollar. And as things inflate, you get to ride the wave of income inflation without experiencing debt inflation. That's the power of debt leverage in the times of inflation. And so there's two types of debt, especially in real estate, but in any type of debt, whether you're buying a business or real estate or any type of investment. It's, I'll call it recourse debt and non-recourse debt. Recourse debt is something where you have to personally guarantee that debt, meaning if you don't pay that debt, they come after you and your stuff. And then there's non-recourse debt. Non-recourse debt is debt that if you don't pay, they cannot come after you or your personal belongings and personal things. So they can't come after other properties or personal stuff. But let me tell you, there's a couple differences here. Personally guaranteed debt is easier to get, obviously, because they can come back on you for it. Non-recourse debt is more desirable, but they will never loan you more than your net worth. So if they're going to give you $1 million, you need to have a net worth of $1 million. If they're going to give you $100,000, you need to have a net worth of $100,000. So non-recourse debt has higher stipulations and will look at you more stringently, look at your personal financial statements and your tax returns more closely to make sure your net worth matches this loan number. Whereas on recourse debt or debt you personally guarantee, they'll also look at your personal financial statement, your tax returns, because they want to make sure that you can actually make the payment if the rents don't come in or whatever type of investing you're doing. And they will make sure that that they can come back on and you have enough to come back on if you don't make that payment. Those are the two different types of debt. But no matter what debt you choose, it doesn't change that you should be leveraging one of them to invest, especially during inflation. Debt is the best hedge against inflation. As a side note, inflation has actually slowed down the national debt, and it will. In fact, Robert Schuller, one of the smartest financial minds of our time, was asked recently, how are we going to get out of this trillions of dollars of national debt that we're in? And his exact answer was, we'll probably have to inflate our way out. That's how we did it in the past. Inflation, when they inflate the prices, the government taxes more dollars. So when you used to pay $2 for a loaf of bread, now you pay $4. They can tax more. They get taxed on $4, not $2. So the government's collecting more tax dollars. When they collect more tax dollars, they don't have to borrow as much money. Slows that debt down. So again, inflation is one of the ways the government can hedge that national debt. Now, our hope and prayer is that they tighten governmental spending as well so that we don't continue to leak out and have to bring in more money. But the truth is, inflation has its benefits, but understanding the power of debt in the middle of it is one of your greatest defenses against what inflation can even do to you. Number 2 is invest in cash flow. Anytime you invest in cash flow, inflation is going to benefit you, because I just mentioned it. Because cash flow is the kind of thing that inflates during inflation. That's what inflates. So if you're selling a little widget for $1 and inflation hits you, guess what? You're probably going to be able to sell that widget for $2 and now, or $1.50. And now more dollars are going to come in. If you have an apartment building and you're renting your units out for $700 a month, inflation's going to come up. You're probably going to rent those out for $775 or $850 a month, because cash flow is what inflates in times of inflation. So by investing in cash flow, you get to ride inflation and leverage inflation to your benefit, rather than let inflation run you over just because you're not leveraging the right investment. So you're going to invest in cash producing assets. Now there's 2 types of cash flow investments that I love: real estate and businesses. I'm not much of a stock guy. I don't do a lot of stocks. I do a little bit, not enough to even speak of. I'm more in the business game and the real estate game because I feel like I can control it more often. I can grow it. I can determine. I can make decisions if it grows. So I'd like to have a little bit more control in that way. So I like real estate and I like businesses. You're always going to get more cash flow with business, but you're going to get more appreciation with real estate. And that's why business is a great place to make money. Real estate's a great place to park money. Real estate's the best bank account in the world. Business is the best money machine in the world. And that's why I love these 2 investments. In fact, these are the 2 very investments I'm looking at right now. I buy real estate every single day. I just put 2 offers in on businesses this week to purchase and acquire those businesses. I'm investing heavily into cash producing assets that can skyrocket with inflation. So when you're looking at what to invest in, you invest in things that leverage inflation. Don't invest in things that will be hard to inflate with inflationary times. Rent, it's going to continue to go up. Cars right now have skyrocketed over 40% in cost, right? Well, if you owned car lots and you bought a ton of cars before that happened, you're setting pretty. Right now you buy those, they probably can't go up another 40%. But you have to understand, when you look at apartments or when you look at other things, we are going to see those continue to inflate, but there's one ceiling I want to quickly mention. The greatest ceiling to all inflation is income. The greatest ceiling to all inflation is income, and here's what I mean by that. Things can only inflate nationally to the income of the people that can pay for those things. So as inflation rises, what has to happen as well is businesses have to start raising wages so people can actually afford to buy bread, milk, water, and gas. And so as wages continue to increase, people will be able to invest in more and spend more on rent, etc. So again, leveraging those cash producing assets can allow you to ride that wave of inflation. Warren Buffett said, investing in real estate is smart during times of inflation because you get to ride that wave of inflation in your income. Then Warren Buffett said this about businesses: the best business is one that you make one capital purchase and you don't have to keep injecting money, but pays you over and over and over again. See, one of the things that Warren does, and I think that this is brilliant, is he buys businesses that already have cash flow. If you want to start a business today, it's hard. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've started them and it is hard. A lot easier to buy one. Go find an investor and buy one that already has cash flow. Whatever you want to do, go buy one. You want to start a lawn care company? Go out and buy a lawn care company that has all the equipment. You can get debt on it. You can bring in a partner that has the financial capacity to get the debt, and you can start running this. And guess what? They already have customers. They already have a name. They already have the signs and the equipment and maybe even a shop, and you get all that with the purchase. I am done starting companies. In fact, I would say for the rest of my life, at least when I'm shooting this video, I could change my mind, but I would say for the rest of my life, I'll probably not start another company. I will just buy whatever company I want to start, so it already has cash flow and it's already moving. That's powerful, especially in times of inflation. Invest, 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 but in cash flow. Don't wait because, inflation's going, we're going for a crash. Inflation doesn't always mean a crash is coming, first of all. We came into the 80s and 70s and 80s with high inflation and then saw amazing economic times. So inflation doesn't always mean bad economy. In fact, a lot of time it inflates during good economies. And so you have to remember, inflation isn't a time to wait. It's a time to lock in quickly and ride that wave. Investing in cash flow, and those cash flows business and real estate. And before you leave, we have a lot of videos on our channel on raising capital, building businesses, buying real estate. Make sure you fly around the channel, watch more videos that will get you to the level you want, and also make sure you download our free ebook, How to Manage Money and Create Wealth. I'll see you in the next video.